1 hour of football conversation featuring the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Be part of the show by dropping us your questions or comments to blueraidernet@gmail.com. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Now, with Coach Derek Mason, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Into the Boulevard tonight here on East Main Street and Middle Tennessee Boulevard, our home for Derek Mason Live and our basketball coaches shows. And Coach Mason is here tonight. And Coach, on this now Tuesday night, it is because
right.
We had Labor Day yesterday. It's one of those where, it's no fun to talk about, but sometimes you have to rip the scab off a little bit and kind of talk about the week that was. And you kind of started your press conference yesterday saying, we're all a little bit ticked off, and you kind of went from there. So kind of take it and run with it a little bit, and kind of your thoughts on where we are and where things stand.
Yeah, coming out of that game, I knew that we left a lot of meat on the bone. We missed some things, and we started slow. Some early injuries wind up impacting like rotations and what you're doing, but chemistry just wasn't there, and that hadn't been the same football team and that we had practiced with and had seen. But the reality of it is, when you got to show up to play, you got to show up to play. So, in having a chance to, assess where we were, and I talked to our coaches and I talked to the players too. Okay, you can talk about frustrations, but really at the end of the day, it was about expectations. We didn't meet our own expectations, and so we need to be frustrated by that. But here's what we got to do, man. We got to fix it. I mean, when you went through, man, you looked at first opportunity to have the football, and come out and we leave the field on a 3-and-out, and it just said, okay, man, let's see what we do defensively. And man, what you saw was just lack of consistency, some missed opportunities, momentum, never really snatched it, and then all of a sudden, right before halftime, you get one with a no huddle, and you go score, and you say, okay, it's on. Now what we got to do is come out, we got to play. And to come out and get what you want, and then to lose a piece of that, due to a penalty, everything that happened to us Saturday night was really self-inflicted. I thought Chris Parsons, their quarterback, was a really good player. We sacked him 4 times, we pressured him 5 times, but he did some things, to us defensively and offensively. We just weren't in sync. So with that being said, because the quarterback had protection in the first half, we just missed. Okay, we missed or we dropped, and so the reality of it was, man, we were sort of a disgruntled group. Okay, man, that just couldn't seem to get it together, and even when there was opportunities, man, we didn't seize it. So with that being said, man, it sort of leads you down this road of it's a loss, but it winds up being a lesson that you didn't want to learn game 1, but now, man, that's all you can do. Let's learn from it and let's get better.
That's right. I mean, you can't go back and replay it. That's for sure.
You don't get that back.
Early, that early part in the game was, and you mentioned missed opportunities. Nick Vattiato started the game 1 for 11.
Yeah. And
I'm not a coach. I can't tell you, okay, were those missed throws or wrong routes or balls off fingertips? What were you all able to see once you I know you saw it live as it happened, but also then go back and look at things on tape?
Well, I mean, it was what you said. I mean, there were some missed throws. He couldn't set his feet. A couple of times he didn't set his feet. And that happens because sometimes you get sped up in the progression. Is it man? Is it zone? You're trying to speed yourself up to go ahead and get it out. So some of those balls were high, but some of those balls were on the money. And we just didn't make the catches. And so with that being said, it just compounded. Generally what you want to do is get those early. You just like in basketball, man, you want to see the ball go through the hoop, okay, early. Okay, you want to see it go through early and often. And when that happens, okay, man, you catch rhythm. When you don't catch rhythm, now you're chasing it. Okay, and we found ourselves chasing third downs, and that wasn't what we wanted. it wound up being a recipe for us staying on the field. Okay, a lot in the first half. Been 3 touchdowns scored. Again, some self-inflicted stuff like defensively. But when you look at it, playing it back, the game to me was very simple. We made the mistakes, they capitalized, and that's all there was to it.
Yeah, and when you talk about compounding, when you don't have things going right on the offensive side, and all of a sudden on the other side they've got you mentioned Chris Parson. He was almost more dangerous when he pulled the ball down and started using his feet. Mm-hmm. And also, we've had guys like this before. Javius Bond, who, was listed as a cornerback, but, he played running back, might have been at a wideout, returned punts. He's just one of those cats that they wanted to get their hands on the ball, and there's absolutely you watch him, every reason why they want to do that. He's very, very, very talented.
Well, that's what was different about going into this game, right? They knew who we were offensively. They knew Nick Vattiato. They understood, pretty much what we were bringing in. We had no idea, other than maybe Chris Parsons having the start. You don't know who these guys are. And so, series to series, man, you're making adjustments based on, okay, hey, look, we can't just 4-man rush Parsons, because if you're 4-man rushing and if he gets through a run lane, there's an opportunity for him to squirt, okay, if guys are in zone coverage. Then you come back and you pressure him, and he did a really good job of being off schedule. And in sack situations where most quarterbacks took sacks, he found himself outside the pocket throwing the ball out of bounds, which was so smart. For him. I mean, he was savvy. He understood where he was, and he made good plays. And so with that being said, they never really got behind the chains.
Well, there was a couple of times when on those plays, just like what you're talking about, that the official immediately came on the PA and said, there is no penalty for grounding because he was either outside the tackle box and the ball had gotten to the line of gain or back to the line of scrimmage, things like that. When they some of that, again, to use your word, compounding a little bit, it puts you in a position on your third possession of the game to kind of go for it on a 4th and 4, just trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I thought we were in field position enough where, like the analytics, sometimes you weigh the analytics, but I think in that ball game, we needed to make something happen. And sometimes, okay, man, you're waiting for something to happen, but that particular in 4th down situation, it was like, okay, look, okay, we're looking to make something happen. Here you go. Okay, man, let's go make something happen. We have a high-low combination where Jaquil Middlebrook is on the middle backer. He ran right past the middle backer, and again, just one of those errant opportunities. The ball's behind him. If he catches the ball, he splits the safeties, and that dude is running to the house, and it's a touchdown on 4th down. But instead, we missed the throw. Okay, we're off the field on 4th down, and again, they have the ball. They're going down, and it's just one of those, again, it's missed opportunities. And then, trying to, on that same series after that, KJ Minifield winds up, dislocating his elbow. So, with that being said, and he was a nickel that was slated to play a lot in that ball game, in the slot. So when you start to talk about matchups, okay, man, you're changing your matchup. So, again, it just little things compounding sort of added up. But listen, you got the guys you got, and you got to play football. And for us, we just not enough.
The drive that they had that started late in the first quarter and went 9.5 minutes. So I think it ended up being 17 plays.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of those, again, trying to get off the field, and you're like this close time and again. And but, that put them up 21-0. And to your guys' credit, they came right back out and went up tempo and got one in the end zone pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they came out and they were able to complete, I think maybe 3
third downs.
Yeah, like 3 third downs. And when you look at and maybe even there may have even been a 4th down in there. I wasn't sure, but maybe just third downs. But just looking, I mean, we had them in 3rd and 8. I think 3rd and 6, okay, and then even one 3rd and longer. And I just kept looking at it, and I kept saying to myself, all we got to do is get them off the field, okay, like we didn't. But fortunately for us, when we got it back, we just said, hey, look, let's go tempo. Okay, man, we put the ball in Nick's hands. Nick made some good throws. We were able to, catch some runs, some run after catch by a couple of receivers. And then before you know it, man, we're in the end zone. And you're saying, okay, this is real.
Yeah. And so
momentum.
And
for the first time.
Yeah, you're right. And in that long drive, they had a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 9, and a 3rd and 10. And they ended up converting all of those. Yeah. Now, stats a lot of times don't tell the story of a game, but it was very unusual to see an 0 for 12 on 3rd down.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't necessarily happen that often. And could you put a finger on why that was?
Well, for us, there were no really true short yardages, right?
Right.
Okay, so when you looked at it, okay, we just missed. Okay, there were drops, there were missed opportunities. There were times where we went for it and didn't get it, and it just seemed to be one of those nights.
Yep.
Wanted it, just didn't get it.
You'll be proud of me. On the video board before the game, they asked me what keys to the game were. I said, have good 1st and 2nd down, make 3rd down easy.
Correct.
So
manageable.
And that's just not the way that it worked out.
That's not the way it worked out.
All right, we need to take a break. We're at the Boulevard tonight with Coach Derek Mason. Stick with us back after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
You're clear.
To the Boulevard from the Blue Raider Network. Chip Walters along with head coach Derek Mason. Our show is brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Blue Raider fans get ahead of the game with the best home and facility services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. 615-867-1000 or leecompany.com online. And coaches, you went back and went through this. Defensively, there are a couple of guys I want to bring up on your that played in the ball game. DeMonte Smith, and I want you to explain this. Pro Football Focus is something that coaches and football junkies look at all the time. DeMonte Smith graded out at 93, which was the third highest of any defensive player in the country this weekend.
Yeah.
Muaz Bayard graded out at 85.7.
Yeah.
Kind of explain to people what that means.
Okay, I'm going to explain that in a second. First of all, what I do want to say is I want to speak to Blue Raider Nation and say thank you, for showing up for the whiteout. I mean, the crowd was incredible. I thought the atmosphere for the game, man was spectacular. But as we talk about, Pro Football Focus, what they generally look at is play at the point of attack, okay, man, and what that looks at is production truly at the point of attack. When I tell you that DeMonte Smith played by far one of the best games that I've seen him play since I've been here, I mean, he was a dominant force inside. He wasn't just, active at the point of attack. Even away from the play, he ran down plays. He made plays all night. To be honest, Muaz Bayard had to step in for Alex Mitchell.
Yeah.
And both of those guys were extremely productive. But if you want to talk about it, I thought our inside backers, okay, as well as our interior D-line, they played extremely well in this ball game. The edges were soft. We didn't necessarily tackle on the perimeter like we should have. But when you talk about that interior play in Pro Football Focus, those guys were exactly what the numbers said they were. Because when you go back and look at the game, they were all over the place, and they made plays all night.
Well, that's one thing. Austin Peay had a hard time running between the tackles.
Correct.
When they took it to the outside, you mentioned, and we always hear that phrase, set the edge.
Set the edge.
Try to turn it back inside.
Correct.
That was where the weak point was.
It was. I mean, when you talk about building a wall, set an edge, I thought our guys, Coach Hargrave, preaches it. Josh Smith preaches it, but it's build a wall, set an edge, track a hip. Well, if you set an edge, guys are running to the ball. Okay, we got guys pursuing to the ball, but if you don't get it back, okay, well then it's tough. That's where you can get leaky, and we got leaky on some perimeter yardage. So, for us, again, that's where we got to shore up. What needs to be fixed, defensively as well as having somebody on the roof. But I do believe, okay, those things, everything we saw in that game was fixable. Okay, I mean it wasn't like you said, oh man, we're right. Stuck. Everything you saw is fixable. So if you can get the middle of your defense to push the ball on the perimeter, that's where you want it.
Yeah.
Because we know we can run and hit, so we got to just set edges.
Well, if you can set that edge, then you get to use the sideline as an extra defender.
Correct.
All of that plays into it.
Right.
How much, again, speaking on the defensive side of the football, how much did it mean to have Brendan Harris back after, here's a guy who had 18 tackles in the first two games last year, playing his 8th year of college football.
Yeah.
And also John House, local guy, Brentwood High School, and he did a lot for you the other night, playing in the secondary. Also, I thought was excellent in his decision-making on kick returns.
Yeah.
But they bring some age and to you on the defensive side.
Yeah, we've tried to ease Brendan Harris back into it, right? Because
is he still not quite healthy?
No. He's actually healthy now, but you just wanted to put him on a pitch count so that we can see exactly what he was capable of. But right now, Brendan's ready to go, and you're going to see a lot of him on Saturday because he's played in enough big games where this moment is never too big for him.
You mentioned Parker Hughes a little bit earlier, and also Alex Mitchell. Did you come out fairly healthy? I know you had Trayvon Farrell had to be looked at a couple of times.
Well, yeah. I mean, Trayvon may be out for a little bit, and then as we look at Alex, he's probably going to be down for a couple of weeks. So, when you talk about how that changes the dynamics of what you're doing, well, it's really about guys playing with each other. Because when guys play with each other, they know how to communicate. When you get new guys in there and they get sped up a little bit, the game goes a little fast. for example, when we saw Corey Smith in the game, he made a lot of plays going sideline to sideline, but a lot of times he was just a little bit behind it. So for him, though the plays were good, okay, but for him, he just needs to slow it down a little bit. The game took a while to come to him. So with that being said, man, we got a little change in lineup, but for the most part, guys got reps.
Another guy who we called his name a lot the other night, Reggie Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a new guy who played a lot and made plays.
Well, Reggie made plays. When you look at Reggie has all the tools, okay? Man, a junior college transfer, he's big, he's long, he's physical at the point. You know, there's some edges that got lost, okay, man, because of some inside moves. But Reggie played outstanding at the point. He was actually productive. He put his hands on people and really did a good job, you know, versus the zone read. He got to the quarterback a couple times. So, you know, with that, some new names that you heard that played in their first games as Blue Raiders. And so, like, these guys were sort of learning on the run versus something that was really unscouted. So it took a minute for some of these guys to get their bearings on what they were seeing and how to defend it.
Yep, it is week 2 of the college football season. Middle travels to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers on Saturday. We'll step aside more with Coach Derek Mason after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
The Tennessee Lottery has had many big winners. More than 450 tickets have been sold worth $1 million or more. But with nearly $8 billion raised for education, the biggest winners continue to be students in Tennessee. So if you've ever purchased a game from the Tennessee Lottery, we say thank you for helping to play your part. The Tennessee Lottery, game-changing, life-changing fun, but please play responsibly.
Hey fans. MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
What is it, girl? You say there are people winning big all over the state? How? You're playing instant games from the Tennessee Lottery with chances to win a whole lot of bones? Fantastic! Where can I play? At any lottery retailer? Oh, what a good girl. Now show me the way. Find your game-changing fun today with instant games from the Tennessee Lottery. Please play responsibly.
.93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Welcome back into the Boulevard here in Murfreesboro. Tonight's program brought to you by Middle Tennessee State University, with nearly 200 majors and concentrations for undergrads and more than 100 graduate programs, Middle Tennessee State University has something for everyone, including more than 50 online degrees. Do you want high-quality, affordable education? Not too late to apply. Learn more at mtsu.edu/how to apply. Coach, we'll get into some, as you might imagine, some fan questions tonight came in.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit about you were upset, fans were upset. How do you talk to them, and you mentioned it earlier, about believing, coming back, and being behind this football team, because you have a great opportunity this week to go to Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think frustration versus expectation. I mean, you got to move on so fast in this. I mean, you're moving from, in a game where when things don't necessarily go the way you want them to go, and everybody wants an explanation. Well, I mean, if you're upset, just be upset at me. I'm fine with that, right? But like for our guys and for you need to get behind these guys. These guys are going to play good football. Okay, I mean, they're just learning each other. With that, I thought we would have played better, right? But the reality of it is, okay, these guys are going to play good football. Okay, I mean, it's coming. I've never seen Nick not play well, so hopefully, man, we got that one out of the way, right? So you keep going forward, and you say to yourself, the best is yet to come, and that's what we got to do. Move forward, best is yet to come.
Well, we addressed this a little bit. This is about the third down numbers.
Yeah.
What does this week in practice look like, and what do you work on to converting those plays? And again, I think a lot of that comes back being good on first and second down makes third down a little easier.
Being good on first and second down gives you manageable third downs. Where we were on third down, sometimes, man, we had manageable third downs. But I tell you what, when it comes to decision making, you gotta know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to stay on the field, or are you taking shots, right? And sometimes some plays have built-in shots, built into them. And if you feel like you got the one-on-one, okay, man, you take it. But the reality is you need the check down, right? You can't go broke taking a profit. Right. Okay. So take the profit and let's move the change. So with that, I think the reality of this game showed that managing situations and down and distance matters. And we've got experience enough at the quarterback position, and we got good enough players to make it happen. We just got to do it.
We got an offensive question and a defensive question. Which one do you want next?
Bring them on. Both.
All right. Okay. Offense. Do you like screen passes and draw plays to help slow down a pass rush?
Yes, I like screen and draw, right? Screens versus this team probably in the fourth quarter would have been a better alternative because everything was coming inside. The stunts and twists were coming inside, okay? And I think there were some opportunities to actually push it on the perimeter, okay, and make some big plays. But for us, okay, man, we just weren't seeing it, so.
And one other defensive question, can you talk about secondary, specifically pass coverages?
Yeah. We found ourselves isolated, okay, without a post safety. And I think at times, man, we played enough quarters coverage where the safety can cap it, but he didn't. A tight end was sort of bait or cheese right in front of him, okay, man. So they got isolations on the outside, okay, which was one-on-ones, and there was a touchdown. The first touchdown came on a slant, right? Okay, and the safety was there. He just didn't make the play. The other ones were isolations, and the safety couldn't come out of the middle of the field. So for us, we have to give those slot receivers a little more help, and that's by closing the middle of the field and making sure that it's capped so that those guys feel like they've got a leverage player to send it to.
Absolutely. All right. Vernon Hargraves is coming up next.
Yeah.
What do folks need to know about him?
Vernon Hargraves is one of the best D-line coaches, man, I've been around. His development from last year to this year of this D-line has been incredible. We talk about young guys growing up. DeMonte had played some, played more last year, but, as a senior and him becoming a father, I think Coach Hargraves has been able to mentor DeMonte. I think with Anthony Bynum and Shakai Woods, they're picking up where they left off last year. But, man, you're starting to see a Zion Simpson. You're starting to see some of these other guys start to play extremely well, and I think it's because of the tutelage and the everyday process. He's an old school coach now.
Yep.
Now, when you come to practice, Coach Hargraves he's getting after him, and most of the time, he's chewing butt, and there ain't much butt left to be chewed, right? So that's just really who he is. But with that being said, man, he's a good coach. He cares, and he mentors every day.
All right, we're going to go old school with Vernon Hargraves. When we return, more of Derek Mason Live after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
.93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Welcome back into Derek Mason Live tonight from the Boulevard. Back on our Monday schedule next week, Monday night at 6 o'clock. If you would, please welcome in defensive line coach Vernon Hargraves, our guest tonight.
Thanks, Ted.
Let me just go through the stickers that are on the suitcase of Vernon Hargraves.
You don't have enough time for that, do you?
UConn, Miami, FIU, East Carolina, South Florida, Houston, Arkansas, Missouri, Howard, and very happy to say Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a long list, huh?
That's right. And you were at UConn for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Was that with Randy Edsall?
No, that was I actually played there. So as soon as I got done, basically, I ended up staying on for a few years. It's probably longer than that because a few of the years I was like a GA.
Yeah.
So it was probably about a total of 13. But I was there with Skip Holtz.
Okay, and did you play? Were you there in the new stadium or the old stadium?
No, I was at the old stadium.
Woo,
yeah.
That place now.
Yeah.
We went up there and played there in stores, And
did you?
Yeah,
you played in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah,
okay.
right there behind Gamble Pavilion.
Right.
We went up there and played, and it was a good day for the Blue Raiders. I'll say that.
There you go.
You and Derek obviously have been friends for a long time, and all of that. How did it work out that you all could get back together here?
Well, I think it obviously started a long time ago, and a lot of it was from afar because I admired like what he'd done at Stanford and some of the other places that he'd been. So then they had an opportunity to actually recruit my son. So So
there's all kinds of connections.
Yeah. So my wife and my son are out there, and I wasn't involved in that, but they did a great job with him, and he was so excited about what they had going, and if Stanford had been over in Florida, I think he would have gone to Stanford. So it was that type of scenario. But I think just kind of knowing the type of man and person that Coach is, and the things that he's done were attractive, and I was fortunate enough to get a call from them, him and Coach Stu, to possibly come and be a part of this thing and be a part of kind of getting it off the ground, so to speak. So it's just it was an honor for me to have the opportunity to come and work for him.
I'll tell you our two line coaches, you on the defensive side and Kendall Simmons on the offensive side. You talk about a couple of old school guys who don't mind getting dirt under their fingernails.
Absolutely.
That's the way you go about it. What is the attitude you want to instill in these defensive linemen as they work through their career?
Well, I think they need to understand that everything starts with us. It's all going to start up front, controlling the line of scrimmage, all those types of things. And I told them from day one, our team's going to kind of go how we go. You know what I mean? And so, and I think Kendall talks the same thing over on his side.
Yeah.
And so we're in line there in terms of, what our thought process is and how we feel like this thing needs to go. So I just try to get those guys to understand that, embrace it. And know that they have to bring it every week for us to have a chance to have success.
When you look across that front four that you guys have, right in the middle, those two tackles, DeMonte Smith and Shakai Woods, that's two tough cats right there.
Yeah, they're when I got here, none of those guys had actually played very much. So it was a challenge just to try to get them going and get them to understand what's going on. And now a year later, they have a pretty good idea of what we're looking for, what we're asking them to do, the type of technique that we want them to play, and all those types of things. And they've embraced it. And as we saw on Saturday, I thought they did a pretty decent job of getting done the things that we want to try to get done at that position. So now the key is, and I tell them, we got to get better every week. We want to be playing our best ball at the end of the year, and so that means every week we got to play a little bit better. And that's what's got to happen this week as well.
Now your defensive ends, Reggie Johnson, Anthony Bynum, and we, Coach and I, you heard us talking about it. One of the things I know you wanted to improve on is setting that edge. Funnel everything back toward the middle of the field.
Build a wall, set an edge, track a hip.
Yeah.
So, the guys are buying into that. They know what it is. We try to give them examples of it. Anytime we can actually get it done, physically get it done, we show it to them over and over and over again. So they get a mental picture of what it's supposed to be like. And so now they understand what we're talking about, because most of the time when that happens, it ends up being a pretty good play. A lot of times it's a tackle for a loss, it's a tackle at the line of scrimmage. So now they understand why we keep preaching that, why we keep talking about the same things over and over again and again. The more you preach it, and the more they see it happening, then the more they want to perform that action. So we've started to be able to do a better job of that, and that just needs to continue.
Back when you were playing, and if you were a defensive lineman, there wasn't a whole lot of stripping the ball. It was more form tackle, get the guy on the ground. And as college football and pro football, high school, whatever, has all evolved, people are trying to strip and get the ball. Where is that fine line in getting guys on the ground and also, you know, sometimes we see guys, well, did they try too much to get the ball out and don't get it out and don't get the guy on the ground? You know, how do you handle that?
The first thing is tackle the guy.
Yeah.
Get him on the ground. I'm not worried. I mean, the strip part, trying to get the ball out, create turnovers and things like that, that's a big deal. But if I'm the primary guy, if I'm the first guy there, I want to get him on the ground. Now, if I'm the second guy coming in, that's where the strip attempts come into play.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's where it comes into play a little bit more. So if I'm the first guy, my major objective is to get the dude on the ground. So we want to get that done first, and then if I happen to be the next guy coming in, I can assist. If I can get a punch, if I can get a rip or whatever the case may be, then yeah, I want to be able to do that. Then there aren't very many guys that are really good at, you know, trying to get the strip and get the tackle. You know what I mean? Unless it's a quarterback and maybe we're coming off the edge. Now you talk about a strip sack and those types of things. But when it comes to just regular tackling, we just want to go get that guy on the ground. And if we're biting the ball like we did last week, we knocked the ball out a couple of times and with some good bite the ball tackles and things like that. So from our linebackers, so they have an opportunity to get it done that way. But as far as we're concerned up front, yeah, the first thing we want to do is get them on the ground, and then we'll worry about trying to get that ball out afterwards.
Is a guy that has wheels like we saw this past weekend, like Chris Parson, is that a line coach's worst nightmare sometimes?
Yeah, I think any D-line coach that runs into a guy like that has great mobility and he's shifty and he can move around a little bit, man, that always presents a problem for you. I think you have to do a great job of making the guys understand they have to maintain their rush lanes and we can't be as frantic and, you know, rush past the quarterback and those types of things. So we got to be a little bit more under control. And so that's one of the things that we talked about trying to do and squeezing the pocket and all those types of things. So yeah, anytime you see a guy like that, man, it makes it a challenging week. And we're gonna see those guys shoot for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, I have to ask you about what you're going to face this week because Wisconsin, obviously they're going to have size up front. They're going to have a huge offensive line.
Yep.
But it doesn't look like Billy Edwards is going to play for them. Mm-hmm. At least that's what ESPN was reporting. Right. He went out in the Miami of Ohio game. But what we're going to see is a more traditional type offense, right. Correct?
You talked about me being old school. Well, that's what you're going to see.
You're going to see old school on Saturday.
Some old school, downhill, give the tailback the ball, and let's go block those guys, and let's see who can tackle and who can get it stopped. So I've already prepped our guys. I said, hey, man, this is what it used to look like back in the day. You know what I mean? I mean, just coming downhill and getting after you. So we're preparing for it. It's going to be something like, you know, we probably hadn't seen, especially those big guys like that. But you know what? Hey, bigger they are.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah. Where can you all gain an advantage?
Well, I think we got to use our quickness, obviously, because I think that can be a thing. And then also, Joe, we got to get as many guys around the ball as we possibly can. We got to get a bunch of guys to the ball, and so that's going to be a big deal. I mean, we're going to try to make sure that we keep those guys, try to get those guys off balance a little bit if we can, and then kind of go from there and just play as hard as we possibly can. I mean, that's the biggest thing that we're preaching right now. And let's go out and have some fun. It's going to be a great environment. You know what I mean? They're going to be jumping around and doing stuff and all that. Hey, embrace it all, man. Let's go.
I was going to say, let's go jump around.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm fired up. Let's do it.
Vernon, thanks so much for spending some time with us. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your time.
All right. Thanks so much.
Take care. All right.
Vernon Hargraves, Blue Raider defensive line coach, joining us. We'll take a timeout. Back with Coach Derek Mason after this on the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
Hey fans, MTSU head coach Derek Mason here. Ascend Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, and they have a checking account that will help you grow your money smarter than ever before.
A high-yield checking account from Ascend earns an annual percentage yield of 3.56%. Plus, you can show off your Blue Raider spirit with an MTSU-branded debit card. Visit ascend.org to open your account today. Some restrictions apply. Rates are subject to change at any time.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
MTSU's College of Education prepares teachers, leaders, counselors, and librarians to be difference makers in schools and communities. Faculty and staff are committed to helping students be the best professionals they can be so they can engage in the very important work of supporting children, families, and adults in Tennessee and beyond. Offering an array of bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree programs, MTSU's College of Education has a program that's right for you as you strive to become a difference maker in your community.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
93.3 FM. Totally hits. Totally Nashville.
Clear.
Derek Mason Live is brought to you in part by Bud Light, proud sponsors of Middle Tennessee State University. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy Bud Light. Looking at the scoreboard from this past week, it was UCF over Jack State by a score of 17-10. Delaware knocked off Delaware State 35-17. Wake Forest over Kennesaw 10-9. FIU over Bethune-Cookman 42-9. UNLV wins at Sam Houston 38-21. Liberty over Maine 28-7. Western Kentucky defeats North Alabama. It was Louisiana Tech 24-0 over Southeast Louisiana. USC, Southern California over Missouri State 73-13. And Utah State knocked off UTEP 28-16. And New Mexico State defeated Bryant 19-3. This week, FIU at Happy Valley, Penn State, Kennesaw State goes to Indiana, Liberty at Jacksonville State in conference play, Delaware at Colorado, Middle Tennessee at Wisconsin, 3 o'clock, Missouri State will be at Marshall, Western Kentucky at Toledo, Louisiana Tech at LSU, Tulsa at New Mexico State, UT Martin at UTEP, and Sam Houston at Hawaii. I know you have enough to deal with in your own knitting, but did anybody in this first week in the league get your attention?
You know what? I really haven't had a chance to
I don't blame you.
Engage in what other people are doing because right now, man, we got our own fixes, right?
Exactly.
But here's what you know. I mean, people are working out their kinks from week 1 to week 2. Football is going to go through a lot of changes here over the next couple of weeks, and what you got to do is get yourself ready, for the run to come. So this week we got Wisconsin. Then we got to go up and see the jump around a little bit and see exactly what they're about. Man, Coach Finkel and that group, they won a good game versus Miami of Ohio. Obviously, without their quarterback, Edwards got hurt early in that ball game, and O'Neal came in and did a really good job, of leading them through. But their defense carried the day, 0 for 9 on third downs, and really put people on notice that they're really good defensively.
Yeah. Let's talk about an area that I think for a lot of fans there were some question marks, because Middle was one of just a handful of teams that did not return a specialist, a kicker, punter, snapper, or a holder from a year ago. We've seen Ashton Logan. He is now in the, number 32 in the NCAA, I think, after having a 42.9 yard average and putting 3 inside the 20. Thought he gave you a lift.
Yeah, I mean, he flipped field position. I think he's a weapon, and that's something that we have to keep engaging with. Our specialists, are going to have to be a weapon, whether we're home or away. The consistency by which they work and the work that they do has got to show up every week.
Also, speaking of guys kicking the football, Jacob Hathaway did some. You want to give him more opportunities, obviously.
Right.
And Balin Woodman put all of his kicks in the end zone. And by the way, he is a native of Janesville, Wisconsin. So the Woodman family will be represented well this weekend when the Blue Raiders go to Madison.
Right. I mean, we're going to go to a hostile environment. Woodman is looking forward to getting back home. I mean, he'll be kicking in front of a lot of folks, but we don't need to just kick. We need to kick well, right?
Right.
And I think they got off to a good first start. Now what we need to do is, and we talked about this, our specialists need to be consistent. They need to give us an advantage, and that advantage will bleed hopefully in the offense, defense, and we can play, a three-pronged approach as we keep moving forward in this college football season.
Yeah, your special teams made great strides a year ago, and with this group, you talk about being consistent, and how much as a head coach does it mean to you to know what you're going to get from that group?
Yeah, I mean it allows you to focus on the things that need to be been worked on, right? I mean, our specialists work extremely hard. Coach Trophy and Coach Arnold, along with Coach Cam, man, they do a great job of constantly working our guys. Like, our guys aren't just kicking, man, but they're working on snaps, they're working on throws, man, they're working on tackling, because there's so much to do, during this time, for them. Everybody, when you're a punter, you may have to get the ball down too.
Yeah.
Okay, man, as witnessed the other night, man, you may have to get the ball down. You never know what's required. So those guys got to do a lot of work. And so for us, it's good to know not only are they working, but they're producing as well.
Can that group make a difference in a game like this weekend?
They're going to make a difference in a game like this weekend. You have to play well on special teams on the road, in order to do what people say can't be done.
It's your first road trip, obviously going to Wisconsin. As a coach, can you learn even more about your team taking them on the road for the first time? And is that an opportunity for them to come together?
Yeah, it's just you.
That's right.
Okay, so when you go, I mean, you'll have your travel party, but that party's upstairs. It's just you, okay? And we're traveling to a place where there's going to be, 96, 100,000 folks, jumping around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the energy is going to be there. It's got to be about us staying focused and making sure that going into that environment that we know, okay, we got to give us energy, okay, man, and you got to stay focused and do the job at hand. You got to do the 5 feet in front of you. If you do the 5 feet in front of you, then everything else takes care of itself.
Speaking of energy and noise and things like that, do you try to assimilate what they're going to hear on Saturday? Do you all get into that, or do you go have quiet counts, or how do you handle that?
I was in a coaches meeting today where several coaches said, "Hey, was that jump around I heard, and was that real crowd noise?" And I said, "Yes." I mean, the crowd noise was so loud, people in neighborhoods probably heard it. You have to. I mean, when an offense goes on the road, okay, in a hostile environment, it's gonna be loud. So, man, we have to simulate that as best we can so that from snap count to procedural penalties, those things don't show up, because when you don't simulate it, it can affect you.
Exactly. All right, we need to take Our final break of the night, back in 2 minutes for final thoughts with Coach Derek Mason as you listen to the Blue Raider Network from Van Wagner.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service.
Yes, sir.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 155,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
You're clear.
Go back into the Boulevard for a final time tonight. Again, next week we're back on schedule on Monday night. Kickoff 3 o'clock at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. We'll be on the air at 1:30. And, Coach, what is the watchword and the theme of the week for you guys?
You know, it's about grit and grind. I mean, that's what you're going to have to do when you go up to Wisconsin. I mean, they're going to be brick and mortar. They're going to try to keep the ball on the ground, then they're going to take some shots, but the reality is, man, they want to be physical, so you got to be physical with them. It's going to be one of these contests where we've got to grit and grind, be physical, make sure that we take our shots, and we can't be complacent, man. We have to attack as well.
I talked to Coach Hargraves a bit about what it's going to be like at the point of attack for his defensive linemen against what will be a Big Ten offensive line.
Yeah.
Is that where the game is going to be won and lost?
Absolutely. I mean, like the game, if they're going to try to ground and pound, that's, you know, it says it in their press release. I mean, that's who they are. And they take play action shots. But, you know, like the thing that we can't do, we can't become deterred by that. We have to play our own brand of physical football, and it does start with our guys up front. They've got to match pressure with pressure. We got to be able to cover on the outside. We got to be able to play top down, and then we have to, again, be able to attack them defensively. They do a great job once you're behind